It's not smart at all. And as you say, I mean, obviously a few people booed. We all heard them. You don't have, one doesn't have to go down the conspiracy theory route of thinking that the media completely invented it. But it is undoubtedly the case that whether you hear the boos or not depends on who you watch, where their microphones were, whether they chose to emphasize the boos or not. And some clips, as you've just demonstrated, you can't really hear many boos at all. In other clips, you can. So this is part of a media agenda, I think, where they obviously don't like Boris for numerous reasons, including because he's the man who got Brexit done, and they've got the knives out for him. So I think this idea that these few boos are really the last nail in the coffin of Boris Johnson, I think that's a case of Tory rebels looking for evidence that the public is on their side, rather desperately scrabbling about for that evidence. I don't find it convincing at all.
And Brendan, your reaction to tonight's vote. Is Boris Johnson safe, or is this the beginning of the end, which if you've watched any of the BBC or listened to any BBC radio station or watched Sky News at all today, that's what they want you to believe?
It's really hard to tell at the moment, isn't it? I mean, I think the numbers are rough for Boris. I think 148 of your own MPs voting against you is never going to be a good thing. It's not going to feel good. It's not going to look good. And he has made a rod for his own back with a lot of his behaviour over the past few months. But the thing that worries me is the question of why so many in the political elites and also the media elites are really keen to get rid of Boris. And it's because he does represent, to a certain extent, that Brexit spirit. He does seem to, or he wants to embody populism. Whether he successfully does or not is a different question. And they really detest those kinds of political ideas. And they want to go back to the old regime of technocracy and, when they were in charge rather than the plebs who Boris has given voice to. So there's lots of agendas swirling around in this. It's not a clear-cut case of Boris being pushed out because of Partygate. This is highly political. There's a lot of anti-Brexit sentiment, and I'm worried about what would come after Boris. That's something that concerns me enormously.